So you beautiful people, welcome to another episode of my Blueprint Breakdown series. In today's episode, we are going to cover the Gilded G36, which is in the Battle Pass. This is a legendary blueprint, and you'll actually find it quite high up the tiers in the likes of the Battle Pass. It's actually level 85. Now, the reason I am actually covering this particular weapon is because I personally believe this is a perfect example as to what blueprints should look like in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It's a very glamorous looking weapon. It's a very individual and very recognizable weapon, and it's something that you should feel proud about using because you've grinded for. And believe me, level 85 is going to take you quite a length of time. So let's actually dive into the weapon and see whether it's actually worth you guys using it, because as you've probably seen in my other episodes, some weapons, they either aesthetically look the same and just have something like a little flag that's been bolted on the Union Jack or the Union Black that I've used. Literally, the difference is a flag and a piece of tape around the magazine, whereas this one is very different. But some blueprints have attachments put on them just for the sake of it and actually make the weapon perform worse. So let's see what's going on with this particular weapon. So one of my favorite on the barrel attachments is actually the PERK foregrip. This will improve your recoil and also improve your hip fire accuracy. So you'll find with assault rifles that it comes at a cost of your aim down sight often, even though this one will severely improve that with some of the attachments. But to negate this, you can shoot off the hip, then kind of aim down sight as you've acquired your target, just to put them finishing rounds on them. As the parts of the cons for this, it will penalize you for aim walking movement speed and aim down sight speed. In terms of ammunition, you get the 30 round mag. This is what turns this into a G36, and this will give you the benefit of aim down sight speed and also movement speed, stepping away from the Holger's double barreled chambers. Obviously, this comes at the cost of ammo capacity, but 30 rounds in a magazine, that is pretty standard for assault rifles in this game. Another attachment, which is one of the rear grips, is the stippled grip tape. You guys will know this is a theme in my class setups. I have to run this. It's just an improvement on all weapons that I have to see, and it improves your aim down sight speed, but more importantly, it improves your sprint to fire speed, because it is significantly slower in this Call of Duty than it has been in previous Call of Duties. So this is an attachment that all the pros seem to run, and it's an attachment that I will always run on all of my weapons if it is available. It will come at the slight cost of aim stability, but what you'll find with the G36 is it's quite a stable weapon to use in the first place. And then we move on to fully loaded, which basically gives you full maximum starting ammo capacity. I don't personally feel this is one that I'd use, and we're going to change this in a moment. But the final attachment is the 5MW laser, which again increases your hip fire accuracy, but also, again, very, very important here, your sprint to fire accuracy. Now, the con here is you have to play a shot ahead as such, because your laser will often give away your position. But if you're anything like me, you can actually use that laser to your advantage, because what I often do is poke it around the corner, like turn it into the wall and make the enemy believe that I have moved, and then they often come chasing, and you will be able to catch them off guard when they come around the corner, because obviously you're going to be able to hear them 9 times out of 10 in this game. Now, the only attachment that I would actually change on this blueprint, because I believe it is that good, is the fully loaded perk. And what I would actually suggest you put on is, and we're going to step away from sleight of hand, which I normally suggest because this weapon reloads pretty quickly, is frangible wounding. Now, this will inflict a wounding effect, and it will actually delay the auto regen for anyone that's been hit by your bullets. Now, I believe health regen in this game is about 5.8 to 5.9 seconds. This will almost double that that to around 10 seconds. So you better believe you'll be able to chase down enemies or get assists from your teammates who will be able to pick these people off, because they're going to have to, you know, chill for 10 seconds in the map, which is pretty hard to do in this game unless people are in their spawn, which they really like to do. But also, you have to be mindful, if that person is running the stim shot, then obviously they're going to reap the benefits of that particular attachment, or I should say loadout, and that will often catch you off guard. But 9 times out of 10, that players are not using stim shot in this game. You will find that that will be the really hardcore players. So a very aesthetically pleasing weapon. I do like the gold details in there highlighting, and then it's got like this chocolate brown with a textured reflective pattern in there. I really like the addition of the Merc grip, that being in white and gold. It's just very regal and very royal looking, this weapon. And it's actually a really nice weapon to use, which we'll get into in a moment, where I show you some gameplay and I will tell you about the recoil pattern and stuff like that. Be mindful, if you do want to make any alterations to the weapon, they won't look the same. I mean, a lot of people like to put on the shorter barrel on here to turn this into a G36C, and what you'll actually find is it won't resemble the weapon. It will just go back to the bog standard way things look. So it is incentivizing you to use the actual attachments on this weapon that come with it. And to be honest with you, they've actually done this the right way. They've attached usable attachments on it, so I wouldn't change anything apart from that particular perk there. So if we start off testing the recoil, you notice it veers off to the right, but it's very, very controllable. And we'll shoot at a bit of a further range now, just so you can see it. But I think that's a really predictable recoil pattern. And as you can see, the bullets do hit quite closely together. So is this blueprint worth your time? In my personal opinion, it's one of the best blueprints I've used in the game so far. The attachments work well and complement the G36 very well. Initially I was a bit worried about the longer barrel, as I tend to use the compact barrel, but it still gets down its sights quick enough to deal with people. Yeah, you might have to premeditate what you're doing in certain areas, but I mean, we're playing on shootouts right now, and the opponents are predominantly using SMGs, as you'll see in a moment, as I struggled to find any ammo for this particular weapon. The attachments are perfect for it. The laser gets you down sight quickly, and the 30-round mags get you down sight even quicker. The recoil pattern is just fine with the Merc grip, and as I've stated, the frangible wounding, it just really helps you acquire those targets that you've got some shots on, and it gives you the chance to be much more aggressive and chase them down if that's what you wish to do. So would I recommend this particular blueprint? Well, if you've already got the battle pass, then it's a no-brainer really, as you're naturally going to get it through your progression. But would I actually use it? Yes, this is a weapon that I'd use quite a lot, and it's a really nice, rewarding looking weapon to use. So one of the better blueprints in the game, and one that I would definitely suggest to you guys to use. So let me know down in the comment section, guys, whether you will obtain this weapon and try and use it, and suggest down in the comment section what you would actually attach to this particular weapon as your preferred setup. Guys, if you want to stay on the right track, consider subscribing, and to see more videos from me, hit this thumbnail here.